welcome, welcome. Hey, if you don't know me, my name is Jason Glover. I'm the principal here at the high school. And it's my job tonight, my honor actually, to welcome you all here. We're looking very, very forward to having your 8th graders coming up next year to the high school. So we do this every year. It's our 8th grade parent night. And the aim of tonight is just to give you some information. As much information as we can possibly give you without totally overloading you. Hopefully we'll answer some of the basic questions that you might have about the experience that your student's going to have in high school starting next year. So we're going to try this a little different this year, just based on past experience. I always feel like it's in a big group like this, it's really, people tend to lose interest maybe and have a hard time focusing on what's being said. So we're going to try it a little different this year. We're going to break it up into 3 groups, and we're actually going to do 3 different presentations for you. And hopefully it's going to break up some of the monotony maybe of a long presentation might present to you, and give you an opportunity to get some of the information that you actually need. So we're going to be doing 3 different things. One of the presentations is going to be about high school testing requirements. That's going to be our EOC testing mostly. And also we'll touch on PSI, and we'll touch on dual credit options in that presentation. The second thing we'll be talking about is graduation requirements, and that's going to be done by our counselor and some of our core content department heads. And then the third thing that we'll be talking about is our CTE, that's our Career Technical Education Programs of Study. And we have some teachers here that are going to deliver that. So, kind of explaining how this is going to work. When you came in, you got I believe it's a blue sheet of paper. Right here, the blue sheet of paper has a 1, 2, or a 3 on it. There's a 1, 2, or a 3. When I get done talking group number one, you're going to go down to what we call the Tiger Center, which is at the end of this main hall right behind us. So just go out right here, down to the end of the hall, and our teachers will show you where you're supposed to be going. That's group number 1. Group number 2, you're going to stay right here in the cafeteria. And then group number 3, you're going to go right over here to what we call the lecture hall, which is just which is right next door. So, if this works the way we envision, then each presentation will last just about 15 or 20 minutes. So we don't want to keep you here all night, but we do want to give you information that's going to be important to you and your student moving forward. But before we do that, I just want to introduce a few people that you're going to be familiar with over the next couple of years. First of all, I've already said I'm Mr. Glover, the high school principal. Right over there on the end there, Mr. Hammonds, raise your hand. He's our high school assistant principal. And he does a good job. There's Dr. James Payne, middle school principal, y'all know him. Miss Lacey Stevens right here, she's going to be one of the presenters. She's our high school counselor. And let's see who else we got in the house. Where's Miss Walker? Miss Walker is our middle school principal, and we appreciate everything Miss Walker does because she's constantly ready and willing to help the high school anytime.
Counselor.
What did I say? You've been promoted. You've been promoted. That's awesome. Man, you're out of here, man. She's the counselor. And I'm not going to go through and introduce all the teachers over there because they're going to introduce themselves whenever you talk to them here in a few minutes. But I do appreciate them being here. Again, they're our CTE teachers and also our department heads here at the high school. So we have a great team of teachers that are going to be working with your students over the next 4 years. And our goal, of course, is to produce students that are ready for the workforce or college or whatever their next step is in life. So that's what we're trying to do here, and hopefully that's what we'll accomplish with your students over the next few years. So, I'm not going to keep talking. We're going to do exactly what I said. If you have a 1 on your blue sheet, you're going to proceed down to the Tiger Center. If you have a 2, stay right here. If you have a 3, please go to the lecture hall. Right next door. Thank you. If you remain in this room completely, if you could maybe move over this way so you can kind of see the screen and get to where you're at, that would be great.
Okay, I'll use the microphone since y'all scooted away from me. I don't know if I smell or what, but I hope not. I don't know if y'all remember me. I'm Miss Sumrow. I was the elementary principal for a while, and I left that and came up here to the main campus. And so right now, I am in career tech, and I'm also the dual credit director, and I got lots of hats. Lots of hats. I could spend all night and tell you everything I do. But can y'all hear? Okay, good. All right, I want to talk to you tonight about the testing and dual credit programs. First of all, on testing, I know all of your students know how fun the STAR test is. The STAR test is the STAR of Texas, the state of Texas of academic greatness, and of course it's the end of course for high school. In high school, you'll have 5 different tests. So in 9th grade, when y'all first come to 9th grade, you're going to get a lot of them over with. And when I used to go to the 8th grade and I would talk to them, as soon as I get in there, I said, you have 5 tests in all in high school to take, and you get rid of 3 of them in your first year. So that's wonderful. They get excited about getting rid of those. And once you get rid of those and you passed them and you're done, you only have 2 left. So that's very exciting. So the 3 that you take in 8th grade are English 1, Algebra 1, I guess I can turn my slide here. Oops, did I skip one? 9th grade. Yes, 9th grade. All right, English 1, Algebra 1, and Biology. 10th grade, when you pass all those, you go to the next one, you have English 2, and then 11th grade, you have U.S. History, and 12th grade, you're home free, you're done, you're right on the path to graduation. That's a very exciting thought to have. All right, to take the STAR test, students must score, of course, same as 8th grade, approaches, which is below grade level, the way they describe it in STAR vocabulary. Meets is on grade level. Masters is above grade level. And you have multiple chances to pass this test. For EOCs, we usually take them in December, and we also take them in May and April and June. So you have multiple chances to take it if you don't pass those. Because the tests are required. You must pass all 5 to graduate. Yes, there are special circumstances, and those are to be discussed at a later date. If you have students in different programs, those can be discussed with the counselor. All right, next you have ACT and SAT. I don't know if the parents, y'all remember taking all these tests to try to get into college or do something different? Well, we still have them, and they are standardized tests used for college admissions in the United States. Most colleges in the United States will take both tests. I know Texas takes both tests, so if you stay in a college in Texas, you can take either one, matters. My girls always took ACT. I don't know why they liked it better, but it just seemed to fit them better. These are 2 URL addresses. The first one goes with ACT. That's where you can find all the ACT information, and all you have to do is put in ACT. You'll find it. The second one is college readiness, and it's at College Board. That was a little difficult. It's not exactly easy to find, but if you put in SAT, it'll take you to that URL address. Both tests cost around $50, and that's without the writing. There is a different writing portion they charge you for. If you want to take the writing, it is $15 to $20 more. And some programs in the state of Texas, like if you go to, I'm saying for instance, A&M, they may require you to take writing if you're going to be in the journalism department. So it depends on what program and what school you go to that you take the ACT or SAT portion of the writing. Students choose what colleges they want scores to be sent to. When you apply to take these 2 tests, you get to choose. If you're adding a college later on, you've already got your test scores back and you want to send them somewhere, they will charge you to send that to a different school. They love to take your money. MVHS offers Saturday testing for in December and April, and that's just for ACT, and I didn't put that up there, but we just do ACT here right now. MVHS offers a school day testing. We just started that this year, and that was on a school day. That was in February, so we'll try to do that again next year. Studies show the more times you take it, the more scores are raised, and that's about a point to a point and a half each time you take it. So it is costly, but it seems like the students practice the way the tests are written. They get more accustomed to how the answers are made, and they do better each time they take it. When students take the test, they must come with a photo ID. So if we're giving the test here at Mount Vernon High School and the student shows up without a photo ID, we have to say, I'm sorry. And it's so sad to tell them they can't take the test. Even though I know them, I've known them since elementary school, I can't let them take the test because of the rules. When registering, they must upload a photo before registration is complete. So that's how they know who you are. your photo is in the system and it comes out on your test ticket. So don't forget that. If you think you're registered and you haven't uploaded your photo, you need to make sure you do that. Tests take about 4 to 5 hours each, and what we do is we do a section at a time. We do the reading, we do the math, we do the science, and the social studies. We do it at certain periods of time, and it does end up being about 4 to 5 hours long. All right, on the TSI. The TSI testing is a test that we give to our students who are entering NTCC, which is Northeast Texas Community College. I know y'all know about that college. We partner with them to give our dual credit classes, and I'll tell you more about that in just a moment. But the TSI is the Texas Success Initiative, and I'm going to read this to you, I'm sorry. The TSI assessment is a program designed to help Northeast Texas Community College and other colleges in our state if you are ready to determine if you are ready for college level coursework in the general areas of reading, writing, and math. Those are your 3 parts of TSI. The TSI assessment will also help determine what type of course that will best meet your needs to help you become better prepared for college level coursework if you are not ready. If you are an incoming college student in Texas, you are required to take the TSI assessment. Based on how you perform, you may either be enrolled in a college level course that matches your skill level or be placed in the appropriate developmental course. So that helps. Some of us are not good at math. I was never good at math. I took a developmental course when I first went to college. I had to do that because I had to learn those steps before I could go into college algebra. And then some people may need help in reading or writing. It happens to a lot of us. On TSI, the kids must score 351 or better, math 350 or better, and on the written part, the essay of 5 or better, or written portion of 4, and multiple choice section of 360 or better. The cost for the TSI, we give those here 2 or 3 times a spring for our students who are going to enter dual credit classes, or the seniors who want to go to NTCC or any college. The cost at Mount Vernon High School is $6 each, or of course 3 tests will be $18 for all. And then the cost at NTCC at their test lab is $15 each, or $36 for all 3 exams. And you can do those all in one day. We suggest not to do that. We try to do them on different days. I already said we administer those 2 or 3 times a day. And as soon as you finish your TSI, you get your immediate score right after, so you know if you passed or you didn't pass it, to plan on the next time you test. Also, if you get 2 copies. 1 copy goes to the student and 1 copy goes to the counselor. And please, please, please keep up with these, because you can't get back in there and get your scores. So if you happen to lose them, you can call the counselor and she will have them. Of course, our current counselor has them. It depends on what counselor we have. Some of them keep them, some of them don't. But she keeps up with all the scores. But these you need to show the school, the college that your student enrolls in, to show that you've already taken it and you passed it. Because they'll make you take it again if you have not, or that you have no documentation to show that you passed it. So start you a folder, label it scholarship information or essays or college applications, because you'll need the information for all those 3 things.
Jennifer?
Yes.
On TSI for dual credit, so probably their freshman year they take it?
Yes, yeah, and that's what I'll get into in dual credit. We don't usually start at the beginning of your freshman year taking TSI. It'll be towards the end of your freshman year if your student wants to take dual credit their sophomore year. Also, you must pass the math portion to start your college algebra. You can't go into it without passing TSI. They always require you to take those before you go into that subject. Now, what we always require at the end of freshman year, beginning sophomore year, we want you to pass the reading and writing portion before you do any dual credit. That just tells us that you're ready for those classes. All right, next part is the dual credit program. All right, dual credit. All right, the student receives both high school credit and college credit, because the granting of the high school credit for a college course is entirely up to the high school. So it's up to Mount Vernon High School to give the students credit for their high school classes, and it's up to the college to give you credit for those college courses. That's why we work in partnership. We do both. For example, economics is required for you to graduate high school. Well, NTCC offers the same economic course. So why not double it up and you get credit for both? That makes sense. On a special note, students and parents should be aware that they are enrolling in college level courses taught by college faculty. The decision to award high school credit rests solely with the local independent school district. NTCC is responsible for only the awarding of the college. So I kind of went ahead of myself and said the same thing. But we do have college professors here in this school. And for example, Mr. Hicks, you saw him when you checked in. He is the college professor of the course of U.S. History, and he's also the high school teacher of U.S. History. So you get dual credit through him. He's employed at the college, and he's employed here. So like I said, that partnership goes a long way. And then NTCC eligibility requirements. And you notice I keep saying NTCC. We don't partner with anybody else because they're in our area. It's kind of like they claim our district, our area. We can't go with Paris Junior College because they have their own area. I think the junior colleges respect each other's area, so they don't try to go into somebody else's designated places. All right, first, have approval from high school counselor or principal with a signed dual credit permission form, and that comes with the application. Meet dual credit course enrollment eligibility testing requirements. Those are the TSI requirements. And then there they are again. Next. And then, of course, your SAT. If you have the SAT of a 1070 combined with 500 or higher on math or verbal, or you have the 23 composite of ACT and 19 or higher on math, or we do this is the pre-SAT. We try to do that when the students are in the sophomore year. It's kind of like a pre-testing, just kind of see where they are and measure how much they've learned from kindergarten all the way up to 9th grade. And that's what that PSAT is. So if they meet any of these, they can be exempt from taking the TSI. But just having two girls, one about to go to college, one in college, that college is going to want you to take that TSI. So why not do it now? That's kind of my own opinion. All right, next is MBHS eligibility requirements. Here's the local high school requirements. Must meet all NTC eligibility requirements. Grade level, must have completed the freshman or sophomore year of high school. So like I said before, you're ending up getting towards the end of your freshman year and you're wanting to take dual credit classes your sophomore year. So you're going to take that TSI and try to get into those classes. Your grade point average must be a B, which is a 3.0 overall or higher average in high school courses. So the reason we make strict requirements is we don't want your student to go into those classes and not pass, because those bad grades go on your college record and your high school record. But you don't want to do, just because they may not be mature enough to take those classes. We always try to measure to make sure that we're doing the right thing for our students. They must have a passing standard on all parts of the STAR. Sign dual credit contract registration form each semester. And then your dual credit students are required to take the TSI and meet requirements for reading, writing, and math. And that's an NTCC and MBHS requirement. The application, which I don't know if I had that I don't have a copy of it in here, but the application is what you sign off on. The student brings it home, you pick the classes you want, and everybody signs it, principal, counselor, parents, everybody signs it, and it's a contract. All right, and here's the dual credit courses that we offer, and I'm so excited about these because we brought a lot of new ones in. We only had 5 when I started, so we have 19 now. So, sophomore, juniors, or seniors. So you can start your sophomore year. You can take the BCIS, which is 1305. It's a business computer application. Every college is going to want you to take that when you enter at freshman year. Whether you're ag business or your business or your, medical business, they're going to want you to take that to show your computer skills. Speech, all colleges require you to have a speech class. I know some of you that went to college probably know that speech class is required. So speech 1315 is public speaking. And we picked those two to make it a little easier on our kiddos that are young so that they can handle that. And it gives them a taste of what college is like. Junior year, history 1301. And the second half, the 1301 is your fall, and your 1302 is your spring. So that's a whole year of high school credit plus 2 college classes. That's 6 hours. Junior or senior year is depending on the course eligibility. You must have completed Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2 high school courses to be able to take college algebra, which we allow them to start taking that junior year. Some of you may have taken algebra in 8th grade. That's great. That means you'll just get it a year earlier to start taking college algebra, as long as you pass the TSI math. They offer college algebra, they offer trig and pre-cal, They offer there's pre-Callahan. Introduction to Statistics, that's a new one we just brought in this year. And then here's a new one we brought in last year, Dual Credit. Dual Credit, Texas Government. We have U.S. government, now we have Texas government. Senior year, they're going to be taking both English courses, so 1301 and 1302. That's a whole year of high school and 2 courses of college credit, 6 hours. Then here's the government, here's your federal government that's required, and then which is fall, and then here's your spring right here. They have to take economics, which they require you to take that in college as well. And then this is the MDCA. These are medical classes. We added medical classes last year. Actually, they just started this year. So those kiddos, and I'll tell you about that program in just a moment. Those kiddos take med term in the fall. I believe that one's in the fall, isn't it? Yes, two in the fall. And then these bottom 2, medical law and ethics and med insurance, those are spring courses. That's a lot of classes for a student to have. But then this fall, this year, 1920, we're starting horticulture, and we're also starting animal sciences college classes as well. So we're adding those because a lot of kids who leave here and go take ag classes in a college, they want to have these things behind them too. It's like I said, it's cheaper if you take them here than if you go off to college and pay for them. And I'll show you that in a minute. All right, here's your application. I wanted to read this to you because it's very, very important. All right, and it says on the application, I understand that in order to earn dual credit, I must make a C or better, which would equal to a grade of 70 or more. If I don't successfully complete the course with a final grade of at least 70, I will be required to refund any monies paid by Mount Vernon ISD to NTCC for my courses. I will also not be allowed to enroll in the following semester in a dual credit course in the same subject area. That means if you don't pass English, you can't take the second English. If you don't pass the first history, you can't take the second history. So we do this to encourage our students to make sure they keep up their grades. It's very important, and I'll tell you why we're requiring to pay that back. And also, textbooks, we rarely buy textbooks anymore. All of it's online. As y'all know, everything's going online. So that will be an added cost. All right, here's the cost. Your tuition is Mount Vernon High School for juniors and seniors will pay half of the tuition for up to 2 courses. So we're going to help you out. We're going to pay half up to 2 courses of the kids. If they take 5, we're paying half of 2. And here's your cost here. There's one course will be $157.50. If you take 2 courses, it would be $315. So if we didn't pay anything for the courses, everything would cost $315. But because we pay half up to 2 courses, this is half right here. Does everybody understand that? Kind of helps you out a little bit. Now, if you're 10th grade, if you're sophomore, you're just starting, we don't pay that. We want your student to get into the class, do well, and know that it's costing them money, the grades that they make. We want them to kind of step up and make sure that they're doing the best they can, because that's real life. And of course, this year, the final deadline for payment is August 19th, 2020. All right, here's our CMA program. I got to hurry because we're running out of time. I can talk all night on this stuff. But our CMA program consists of these classes, and this is what I'm talking about, these medical classes here, or towards the end. This is your senior year, and we have 6 girls that are still involved in this program. They took 2 classes in the fall, taking 2 in the spring, and so a lot of them, not all of them, are planning to go to NTCC, and they're going to take up the CMA program. They're going to finish it at NTCC, so they'll start in the summer this year, go all the way through with their clinicals, and graduate next August. And let me explain this. At high school right now, they're learning to be working in the office of a medical, like a doctor or somewhere. They're learning to do things in the office. So there's a special program that person uses when you go in to check into the doctor. They're plugging your insurance in at what you might need to be charged for. That's what they're learning now. So whenever they go to NTCC, they're going to learn clinicals, hands-on, checking blood pressure, giving IVs, taking blood, all that stuff, so that when they become a certified CMA, completely both portions, that they can go into the medical office, they can work in the office, they can work with the doctor, they can do both. So this is a great program if your student's not sure about what they want to do after high school. This gives them a job that pays a lot of money without a college degree, or this will be an associate's degree. But for my high school kids right now, they're going to take a test in May, and when they finish, if they pass, they will be a CMA office person. So they can go this summer and get a job in the office when they turn 18. So it's a good program, very good program. That's one of the CTE programs. All right, here's our scholarships. There's 2 scholarships NTCC offers. Work for College program, that's where you work over there at their college. They pay you $15. Half goes to your college, your I guess a bank account. The other half goes to your pocket. So they get 2 ways of saving money. And the part that goes to the college in their name, that will be used to pay for their college classes. Dual credit scholarship, you can apply if you need help paying for school for dual credit classes. This is on their website. You can go here and apply. I think it's coming up soon. So if you want to apply for the fall, well, you won't because you've got 8th graders, but you may have older kids in high school that you might want to do that for. All right, let's go right here. Come on. All right, here's the end of my slideshow. If you have any questions or you need to make contacts, here are our people. On the top part is NTCC website. You just put in NTCC. Y'all know, you've probably done it several times. Contacts, our dual credit contact is Miles Young. There's my email address, and there's our counselor's address. So if you need, this has gone by pretty fast. I know you may have questions. It may not be so important right now because you're talking about freshman year, but freshman year goes pretty fast. And I know when my kids got into high school, man, it went in a blink. So if you have any questions, you think about it later, please call me or email me. I'll definitely answer you. All right, thank you. Pardon? Lecture hall. This group is going to the lecture hall. Thank y'all. Some water? Yeah. I'm sorry, I got right in front of the camera several times.
Do it. Excuse us. Come on in.
I feel it, or does it go over you? I just don't want to have a great time.
And they're always doing this.
Okay, are you gonna be the last one speaking? Well, here's the deal. Okay, her. Who?
Who's the last one to go?
The last one, will be in Norway, she's talking about health science.
Okay, well,
The cheerleading moms are out. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and get started because last session we kind of ran behind, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, and then we want to leave you some time if you have questions. My name is Denise Bigney. I teach some of the technology classes here at the high school. Welcome. We're going to talk to you tonight about the career and technology opportunities in our programs of study here at the high school. Like I said, I teach technology. The freshman class that I teach is Principles of Audio and Video. So if you're a freshman coming in, you're going to take a principles class no matter what pathway you choose, okay? After that, my sophomores take graphic design, where we learn Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. My juniors, it's 3D animation. We use Blender for that. And then my seniors, it's video game design, and we use a program with Unity. I also teach a practicum of business management class, which is our yearbook class, which the students work for an hour in class, and then they're required to work an hour outside of class, whether that's taking pictures or interviewing or whatever that might be for the yearbook. And so those are my classes, and I'll turn it over to the next one. Oh, sorry, I also do Skills USA, which is a student organization. It's a competition, so we took kids a couple weeks ago to Waco, and they competed in different things. Our 3D animation team and one of the girls in cosmetology is going to state in Corpus next month for a state competition. So that's, if you're involved in technology, this is our organization that you can belong to.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm Becky Cook, and I teach all the family and consumer science classes along with Ms. Jukon. And we have a variety of classes, all human service related. We have child development, which is basically birth to school-age children, and it's the class where the students actually take home the infant mannequins, the fake babies, and you see them carried around, and then things like that. We also teach interior design, which is a course that enhances interior and exterior environments that we live and work in. I also have the instructional practices and practicum of education class, so if your student is interested in thinking about becoming a teacher or a coach, this is a class, it's a 2-hour time frame when they get to be juniors and seniors, and they actually go out and intern and observe in another teacher's classroom, so it's out a field-based class. And we have lifetime nutrition and wellness, which is basics of nutrition and principles of nutrition and wellness. Interpersonal studies, which is a class that's designed to help people grow and develop strong, healthy relationships, so it's all about relationships. And human growth and development, which is from birth to old age. So we cover a wide range of ages in that class. I have 2 student organizations, which are FCCLA and the TACI group, which is the Texas Association of Future Educators. So that group goes along with the kids that are thinking about teaching as a profession. So I'm going to turn it over.
Yeah, you would.
Okay. All right, so I'm Miss Derek, and there are 3 of us, and we do ag. And basically, the ones I teach that I'm talking about there, the ones I do is Principles of Agriculture. That's basically your freshman ag. That's where you're going to learn about breeds of animals, horses, cattle, sheep, and goats. We're going to talk about the FFA. This is where you can start your FFA membership for the next 4 years. We'll be able to take you for LDCD competitions. We can go to state convention, green hand camp. We have a lot of different opportunities for you with the FFA. Next, I do floral design. That's where you will start making arrangements, bouquets, anything that they need us to do for special events. We typically do those. Greenhouse operations, that's where we'll go out to our big, huge greenhouse. It's beautiful, it's amazing, and we will do vegetable gardens or ferns, any other type of plants that we can get growing, we will do them. Turf grass, landscape, that's where we will discuss different landscape opportunities. We're going to try to do some stuff out front maybe next year. Then we also have the advanced plant science and horticulture. This is a new option for us. This is going to be for more of our seniors. It's a dual credit where you will be able to take the class here on campus, do the labs in the greenhouse, and get your science credit or whenever you want to transfer to, say, NTCC or any of the other Texas universities. They will accept it as your science credit instead of taking a chemistry class or a biology class. You will be able to use the stuff that you learned in class for your science credit.
Okay, I teach the ag mechanics. My name is Brad Ingram. I'm the head of the ag department here at Mount Vernon High School. Every freshman has to take principles of agriculture, even if you go through my pathway. And that's all CE course. You got to start out with principles class. Your sophomore year, you can take the agriculture mechanics medal. That teaches you what the tools are, how to use them, teaches you how to weld, cut with various different types of machines, MIG, TIG, stick, and all that. And then the last 3 is what you can take your junior and senior year. I have some students that start with me at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I don't get rid of them until noon. But they're your die-hard kids that are going to go into either welding as a career or something like that. We have a practicum in the agriculture shop. That gives you a couple more hours you can be in there. This year we built big trailers and things to go to the Houston Ag Mechanics Contest.
Hey everybody, I am Ms. Stephanie Dixon, and I, in the agricultural pathway, teach all of the animal science courses. And just like it's been mentioned, you start the sequence by taking Principles of Agriculture your freshman year. And then on the left side of the screen, we kind of have those courses that you have options to take as a sophomore, maybe into your junior year. That's livestock production, small animal management, and equine science. What we typically do is have the livestock production be a full year course, and then we do the equine science and small animal management as semester courses. So you take equine in the fall and small animal in the spring. Basically, with each of those courses, you're looking at health, handling, management, behavior, grooming aspects of those particular animals. And then from there, we start funneling the kids into like a veterinary science kind of aspect into their junior year if they would like to proceed to the option of maybe earning their level 1 certified veterinary assistant as a senior or during their senior year. We'll funnel them through there in their junior year to that vet med applications course if they have that interest. If not, then they can kind of proceed and start in their senior level at the advanced animal science. We just dig really deep into those animal science concepts and really kind of tie them into those biology and chemistry concepts that are coming from the other science courses. It can be their 4th science credit as a senior instead of taking something else. But what we're really trying to do is, as these students are coming through here over the next couple of years, is turn this course into another option for dual credit. So, on that note, Mr.
All 3 of us are advisors of the Mount Vernon FFA. We're one of the largest student-led organizations in the state, and we're probably one of the largest student-led organizations at the school. We run about 300 members through our program every year. It's not just cows, plows, and sows. We offer ag mechanics, horticulture, floral design. We also do LDE teams, CDE teams. I tell everybody there's something for everybody in agriculture. So if you're interested, come see us, come talk to us, and we'll find a place for you. Excuse me.
I'm Mr. Luis Cifuentes. I teach the audio video class up here at the high school. And this is my 2nd year teaching here at the high school. And I come from a graphic design, web design, technology background. And I've been having a lot of fun with the students, teaching them this content that they are able to use either professionally or even if they don't pursue a career in videography themselves. The main programs that we use are all Adobe-based products. These are actually professional-grade products. One of the ones that mainly used to edit video is Adobe Premiere Pro. And they do all the video editing in there, all the transitions, and they're able to render it out and for whatever production they're working on. Another program that we use also by Adobe is Adobe Audition, and that mainly focuses on kind of like all the audio editing that we need to do. Adobe Premiere does do it as well, but I like to teach them both so they have that in their pockets as far as their training goes. We also use Sling Studio. I'm actually using Sling Studio right now. Sling Studio is part of the white device that sits behind the camera. That right now is actually live broadcasting out what we're saying out onto YouTube right now, wirelessly through the network that we have set up here at the school. So not only do we use Sling Studio, we could also broadcast. We do voiceovers, kind of like the radio for like the football games. If you ever saw one of those games this last season, we were the ones behind the microphones there. We also do, like I said, we publish things out on Facebook and YouTube. But we also control the screens that are around the campus here on school. So you might see one, you might have seen some in the dining hall where you're able to see that the announcements are rotating. We do the announcements generally on Fridays where we live broadcast to the whole school, all the teachers, most of them, and I think we're still working on them adopting it. But eventually the goal is for all the announcements on Fridays to be coming from our classroom downstairs. We broadcast not just to the school, but also the community itself. And like I said, on campus, on Facebook and YouTube, at the end of the presentation, if there's any part that you missed or that your student or child was interested in, you'll be able to actually find us on the Facebook page for the school, be able to scrub back to where you said, this is kind of where they were talking about what I wanted to hear about, and re-listen to the whole thing if you're interested in that.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Kayla Norwood. I teach cosmetology here at Mount Vernon. It's a 4-year program, so we start with Principles of Color Theory your freshman year,
go right into Introduction to Cosmetology your sophomore year, and then Cosmetology 1 and 2 are pretty much for juniors and seniors. They're with me pretty much from lunch to the end of the day on those classes. It's a 3-hour class pretty much for those guys. You are permitted through the state with cosmetology, so there are some fees up front with this class. But the whole goal is so that when you graduate, you're licensed before you graduate. We'll actually take a group to do their written and practical testing with the state before they graduate, if they complete their hours, which is a 1,000-hour course at this moment. So it's changing all the time, but right now that's what it is. That's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, there's a small handout with my email. Just shoot me an email. All right? And then Dr. Spears, Tim Spears is not here today due to some medical issues. He teaches health science, which would start with principles of health science theory and clinical, anatomy and physiology, and then the practicum in health science. This certified medical assistant, nurse assistant program is what you're going to end up with these classes. Again, like I said, he couldn't be here tonight to elaborate on these for you, but if you have any questions, just let us know.
Anybody have any questions? Or anything? If you go to the website, all of our emails are on there, so if you think of one later, you want to email one of us, you're welcome. Are they ready to switch?
He said to hold them here until they give us the signal.
Oh, okay. He's like,
All right, last time they were telling us to hurry up, and then this time they're like, yeah, so we're like.
How much does like this kind of thing cost? Setup wise? Yep. Plus cars. Okay. I'm curious.
I think they're ready for y'all to rotate down to the tiger stand.
I know. I'm like, oh.
What do you make here?
Just disconnect the power strip there, and then just. There's only one way to find out.
I didn't know we still had any metal power drill.
That's my job. You took my
I
job.
got it, man.
You took my job.
I got it. I'm gonna plug this in the side of my head.
How are you like next to the donut is mixing everything?
Well, who got your chips?
Can't remember where I was at. I found a bunch of these, and the IT guy said, if you got any metal ones, get rid of them.
Oh yeah. Well, we have.
Okay. Do not let me knock that off. These mats are-
if you want to go home and discuss a few things, like after what you've heard tonight, then you're welcome to take that home with you. Just return it tomorrow and have your student give it to Miss Gage, their business teacher. So if you like it, sign it, leave it with me. If you want to talk about it, you can take it home and give it to Miss Gage tomorrow. Okay? And we're getting Mr. All right, so I want to welcome you to the portion, the last stop for you tonight, our graduation requirements. You've heard about programs of study, you've heard about testing, so I just want you to know about what is required for high school graduation. All right, so my name is Lacey Stevens, I'm the school counselor, and here in a few minutes, we're going to hear from our department heads as well. All right, but in 2014, Texas came out with what was called the Foundation High School Plan, and it was a required 22 credits. All right, and this, if you'll think about it, it's like the cake, okay? This is our cake. We have our 22 basic ingredients. You've got 4 English credits, 3 math credits, 3 science credits, 3 social studies credits, a fine art, a PE, 2 credits in foreign language, and 5 credits of electives. All right, so that's our basics. That's our foundation. Then, we like to, at Mount Vernon, we like to frost the cake. We're going to put some icing on there, so that's where our endorsement comes in. And you've probably heard from the other presentations you went to tonight where they talked about endorsements, and that's a little different than what you are probably used to if you have not had a child in high school for a while. So the endorsement is really determined by your child's program of study that they've chosen. And you can see the Foundation Plus endorsement plan, what that does is it adds on another math credit, another science credit. We will, in either plan, have 4 social studies credits because we do require more geography. PE, a fine art, still 2 years of foreign language, but then there's 7 electives now. And those electives are required within are really determined by your student's program of study that they chose. We do have every student come in on the distinguished level of achievement. And what that means is that we are planning on them taking Algebra 2 before they graduate. Now, Ms. Juarez will talk some about math and the different sequences of math classes that you can take, but that's really one of the only differences is in that distinguished level of achievement is that we're requiring that the 4 maths, 1 has to be Algebra 2, and then it has the 4 sciences. And you have to complete at least 1 endorsement area. So that was our frosting. Now the sprinkles are the little things like performance acknowledgments. You can read more about those in the course catalog. It is posted online. That blue sheet that you got when you came in tonight, it tells you how to find the course catalog. It also directs you to my website if you just want to look around on there about, what are some things to expect while in high school. And then we also put on there for you the graduation toolkit that TEA has put out. And so those are some good resources to refer to if you have questions. But the performance acknowledgments that most of our students earn are the dual credit. We offer a variety of dual credit classes. We partner with NTCC to provide those classes. Some are taught face-to-face, some are taught online, and our teachers proctor that. We also have a lot of students earn the bilingualism and biliteracy in performance acknowledgement. That's taking 3 years of a foreign language. There's also AP test, SAT, ACT, PSAT. There are certain scores you have to earn to get that little performance acknowledgement. And then you've heard about the programs of study where they talked about the different license or certificates that you can earn. That is another way to get that performance acknowledgement. Endorsements, like I said a while ago, are really determined by the program of study that your child has chosen. So it's kind of like your major, if you were picking a major in college. This is your area of emphasis. So the business and industry endorsement is for those that are taking agriculture, audio-video classes, or business classes. If your child wants a STEM endorsement, okay, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And so that STEM endorsement for us looks like your child taking 5 math classes or 5 science classes while in high school. The arts and humanities endorsement is 4 years of a fine art. It has to be the same fine art for 4 years. So like 4 years of band, 4 years of theater, or like 2 years of art and 2 years of theater to get that arts and humanities endorsement. We also have a public service endorsement, and that's done with our health science classes, human services classes, education and training, and cosmetology. So that program of study your child chose really determines the endorsement that we put on their transcripts when they graduate. There's also a multidisciplinary endorsement. Your child can change their mind while in high school. We know that. Okay, what they choose today could change in a year. So if they do decide to change their program of study, sometimes that can affect the endorsement, and it can make us have to go to this multidisciplinary route. So we can talk about that if that day comes. But this is usually where they have to have like at least 4 dual credit courses that they've taken. They've got the chemistry, physics, and English 4. And so you can see up there, there's some different ways that can lead to that multidisciplinary endorsement. Students also have to take 5 EOCs. You already met with Ms. Sunrow, and she explained testing, I'm sure, but I just want to reiterate that these 5 tests are required while in high school. Your student will take 3 of them as a freshman. The Algebra 1, Biology, and English 1. English 2 will be their sophomore year, and U.S. History will be their junior year. These are required for graduation, so your student must pass them. Some other just general information that you might be interested in. Once again, this is found in the course catalog as well. We do a weighted GPA scale. We do have a rank. We do rank our students. And so if you're interested in knowing more about the weights of the courses your child has chosen, or like they put on their 4-year plan, you might want to look at those. Talk about them with your child and let them know that they're choosing a level 2, level 3, or level 4 class. The weight of the courses is determined by the rigor of the courses. So a lot of our dual credit courses are going to get a higher weight. Our pre-AP courses will receive a higher weight than our regular courses. But all of that information is found in the course catalog. And then I put this on here because I want you to start thinking about this. We don't just tell our kids they have to go to college. We know not everybody is bound for college. We know that, but we do talk about it a lot, as well as joining the workforce, joining the military. But I want you to know these are things that colleges are looking for. So if you do have a child that's part of their plan is attending college, courses and grades on their transcript are very important, and it all starts the first day. All right, you can't try to play catch up your junior year. It all starts day 1. Grade point average, colleges will look at that. Their entrance exam scores, I think Ms. Summer talked to you all about ACT, SAT, PSAT, those types of tests. Class rank, we do rank our students. But then also activities. Activities are very important because maybe your child has to go under what's called holistic review. Maybe they don't meet the requirements quite just yet to get in. So we're going to do a review of all their activities, everything they've been involved in. There's tons of things for your child to be involved in. There's FFA, FCCLA, there's student council, HOSA, our health science organization. So there's many activities and clubs that your child can be involved in while in high school. So I encourage you to find something to get involved in. And then absences, I throw this on here too because just like if you don't show up to work, you can lose your job, right? So if your child's not showing up to school, they can lose their credits. And it's never fun to have a talk with a high school student about we're denying all your first semester credits because you didn't attend school. All right, so we do attendance by semester, so it's a rule of 90%. They have to be here 90% of the time each semester. And if not, we do have some plans that we put in place to help them recoup their credits, but if they don't, then they can actually lose their credits. So make sure you're coming to school, bring notes when you're out. Of course, if you're running fever, throwing up, stay home, all right? But, come back as quickly as you can, all right? Look also at, if you are thinking about college, especially if you're like, I want to go to an A&M, I want to go to a UT Austin. because like I said, grades start day one. So each college is different. So some schools will have a different entrance requirement to go to them. Top 10% of students that graduate, top 10% of the graduating class receives automatic admissions, unless we're looking at UT Austin and it's the top 6%. And then I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Brown to let her talk to you about English.
Good evening, I'm Shelley Brown, and I'm the department head for English at the high school. I teach senior English, but I'm going to introduce you to our English program. Lucky y'all, every student takes 4 years of English. So yay, you get to do it all the way till you graduate. Your first year here in high school, you can choose English 1 or English 1 Pre-AP. And the main difference there is the requirement level in the class. If it has Pre-AP and it's an English class, it's going to have a summer reading attached to it. And that summer reading will be whatever book choice of the teacher, and then there'll be some assignments that go with it to see that you are ready for that level of writing and reading, because Pre-AP does a lot more with that in class. So if you're interested in Pre-AP, make sure to pass the STAR in the spring and do really well in your English. I encourage you, because it will prepare you more for our upper level. English 2 Pre-AP, same thing there. There will be a summer reading, a requirement of passing your English before. English 3, then English 3 Honors. English 3 Honors helps really get you on the track for college level classes. You'll notice there's quite a bit more to choose from your senior year. Your senior year, you can take English 4. You can take College Prep English, and what that is for students that are not quite ready on the TSI. Their score wasn't high enough to get right into a regular college level class. To try to prevent you from having to have a remedial class in college, we have College Prep. And students that make high enough on that automatically TSI exempt through NTCC and can go to NTCC into regular college level English. Business English is meant for the student who's ready for the job force. They know they're headed right out after graduation to work. In that class, there's a lot of emphasis on how to talk to employers, how to write professionally to the employer, how to write up business proposals, how to send good emails, how to answer those. And then dual credit English, I love that one because you get to double dip. I teach dual credit English, and so in that one you get high school English credit and college English. I teach 1301 and 1302. And most students, when they leave my classroom in May, they have all the English they're going to need. And they head right out to the meat of their program. I look forward to seeing all of you. I won't get to teach you probably your freshman year, except during tutoring. I also like to go into all the different English classes and help there. But anytime, parents, if you have a problem, holler at me, call me, send your student by to visit if they want some help with the paper. I love helping with that. I work closely with all the English teachers so that we're on the same page. And so if you have a problem here at the high school in English, let us know. And the students, come see me if you can. I'm down in the senior English room. Thank you. Excuse me.
How's it going, guys? I'm Blake Wilkins. I'm the science department chair. I teach biology, physics, and astronomy, so I'm all over the board. So I might see you freshman year, and I'll definitely probably see you your junior and senior years. But I'm going to kind of lay down what 4 years is going to look like. So pretty dead set. As soon as we come in, everybody's going to take biology. Right? Everybody's going to get ready, prepare for the EOC test, ready to rock and roll. We got biology, we got Pre-AP and regular version. If you're looking towards engineering, med field and stuff, that's when you might are really just interested in science. You look for the Pre-AP track, then roll into the next year. So your sophomore year, everyone's going to take chemistry, and we also have that as regular Pre-AP. Now your junior year, that's where things are going to start getting a little bit different if you want to. All right, so generally everybody, about 98% of the population will take physics. All right, and that's your last big main science is headed before you get some fun. Those are choices. But if you're doing a little different, so if you're going to the med field or something, you might want to do something a little bit different, because if you're looking for the STEM endorsement, this is where you got to start looking to double dip. So you got to either take 2 sciences your junior year or your senior year. And it can be done either year you want to, it's fine. I've got a girl that has 3 sciences this Generally, your senior year, that's where you get a lot of the choices. We offer astronomy, AP biology, engineering, environmental science, and anatomy and physiology. Now, a lot of these go with each other, so if you're looking to get a STEM endorsement and you're looking at the med field too, you probably want to take AP biology and anatomy and physiology at the same time, because they're going to work and be a lot of the same things. A lot of people with engineering like to take astronomy and engineering together. All right, so that's a good way to kind of knock out several classes. And then your senior year, it's a lot more open that year too. If you've got any questions about science, the STEM track, or anything like that, just let me know. We look forward to seeing you.
Yes, I'm Ms. Flores, and I chair our math department. We go in it a little bit differently than the other classes because some of you have already had Algebra 1 as the 8th grade, or in the 8th grade. So if you have, as soon as you finish Algebra 1, you will go into geometry, and then after that, we start branching off. We want everyone to graduate with that distinguished level, so everyone will take Algebra 2, but not everyone leaves Algebra 1 in geometry with a really good foundation. And somehow some people are just, you miss something somewhere, math is just not clicking for you or whatever, then we will put you in applied math to help you fill in those gaps before you have to take Algebra 2. We want to make sure when you graduate, you have a firm foundation on your algebra. Okay? For those of y'all that are ready to go, which will be the majority of our students, okay, they'll go straight into Algebra 2 or Algebra 2 pre-AP. After that, if you know for sure you're not going to college, you're going military route, you're going to tech school, you're going straight into the workforce, you may be interested in taking our financial math class. Financial math teaches you everyday skills that you need to know. How do you balance your checking account? How do you take out a loan? How do you know if that credit card is actually worth it? Is it a good deal or not? How do we file our taxes? That's stuff everybody has to do. So we do have that option. If you know you want to go to college, but you did not pass the test to get into college, you're not quite there, but you want to be there, we also offer a college prep class to help get you ready. We don't want anyone to leave Mount Vernon wanting to go to college and have to take those remedial math classes. They still cost you the same amount of money, but you don't get any credit for it. And we don't want anyone to leave us having to do that. So we have that option. A lot of our students end up here though. Okay? This is my passion, my area that I love, that I teach. So our kids leave Algebra 2, they know they want to go to college, we're ready to go, we've passed our tests. You have two different options. We have a dual credit college algebra statistics sequence that you will take in 1 year. We also have a trigonometry calculus or pre-calculus sequence that you can also take in 1 year. And then after these, we do have an AP calculus course that you can take depending on how well you score on the AP exam. Maybe get college credit for this one. If nothing else, you're at least ready for calculus. Anyone that takes calculus here or the trigonometry pre-calc is automatically calculus ready when they leave us. We make sure that when they leave here and go to college, I love when my students come back and like, Ms. Flores, you're famous. I'm like, ooh, what they do? But my teachers look at me and they're like, somebody taught you how to study. Okay? Even if you don't know the math, you know how to study and you know how to overcome that struggle. Okay? A lot of our students don't. And we want you to know how to overcome it. Okay? Math is not a bad four-letter word. Okay? Math is good. So, any questions you have about any of our routes, any of the math in our department, let me know. I'll be glad to help you. Thanks for coming tonight. And Mr. Hicks.
Your 8th graders next year will take world geography. Their sophomore year, they'll take world history. When they reach their junior year, if they've met the requirements, they can take American history as a college credit class, which actually they can take 2 courses, it'll be 6 hours credit they'll receive, or they can take the regular American history class. Senior year, they will take government the first semester, they'll take economics the second semester. Again, if they have met the requirements, they can take those as dual credit classes. I teach the college credit American history their junior year, and then I'm NPCC's, what they call instructional coach for the dual credit government and economics their senior year. So they'll receive high school credit, 4 years credit, but they can, if they want
article sheets and the four-year plans. If you are pleased with what you see on there, then